In the previous lesson, we looked at changing fill colors and line colors, but we haven't modified the actual line style itself yet. And that's what we're going to do for some of the objects that we've drawn freehand, as well as some of the objects that appear on this page according to the template. So let's go to our Open button if you're skipping to this lesson. If not, we're still working on Sign 6a, and you can keep that open. But for those of you skipping to this lesson, you can navigate to your Lesson 6 folder and open up Sign 6b. Alright, that'll get you all caught up with us. Alright, so we've got our lines in here, and you'll notice that some of the objects, I just want to draw this to your attention, have dashed lines around them, and that represents the frame. There's actually no line around this text box, for example, but we can put one there if we want to. So that's where we're going to start. We're going to start with this text box, and you can see when we touch the border we get the four-sided arrow. So when you see that, give it a click. That way you're not inside the box to edit text, but you're actually on the box itself. And now we can change the line style. So let's go up to our formatting toolbar. There's our line color that we looked at in the previous lesson, but if we skip over a couple, you'll see we've got line and border style. So we'll click on that, and currently selected is no line. But if we wanted to, we can come down to a size of our choice, like 3 points for example, and give it a click, and you can see the border that appears around the outside. Let's go back to our line border style button and try something even thicker, like 4.5 points. Okay, so that might be more like what I'm looking for. I'm going to need to drag this bottom down a little bit to create some space because things are getting thick. And now I can change the color if I wanted to as well by clicking the line color drop down. Select a blue, for example, and you can see the dark blue that goes around the outside. Now, of course, because this is like any other object, I can create a fill for it as well. So if I clicked on my fill color button, the currently selected color, which is yellow, appears there. That might not be exactly what I'm looking for. So I come in here, select from one of the other colors. That's a little too dark. So I may need to go to more fill colors. Go to something nice and light. Click OK to change it up. I'll deselect by clicking outside the selected text box. Okay. Now, we can do the same for our roads here. So I'm going to click on my curved line. I'm going to go up to my line and border style button and make that thicker. And I'm going to go to 3 points. And I'm going to go to this one, which is more of a major road, and make it 6 points. So again, it's the same button. I'll just make another selection there. Now, with this line still selected, I want you to go up to the line and border style button and just notice that there's more lines down here as well. So we can bring up the Format Auto Shape dialog box if we want to change line color. It can be dashed or solid if we want, and there's another button up here for doing that as well. But we can choose the style. We can choose the weight or change the weight if we wanted to. We can do arrows if we needed to. All of this can be done from one location by choosing more lines or bringing up the Format Auto Shape dialog box. So we can see our current settings, change those settings if we wanted to as well. I'm just going to click Cancel to close that up. I'll deselect by clicking out here to see I've got a nice looking finished map. Now it's not quite perfect. I'm going to go to my lake now where I've put in a nice fill pattern. And if I wanted to, I could take out the border. If I don't need a border, I can turn the lines off. So I go to the same button, but then I choose no line. And you can see that looks a little bit different. I'm going to make this one a little bit thicker. So I click my auto shape. Back up here, I'm going to go up to 2.25 points and deselect by clicking outside. There we go. So modifying your line style, the line color like we did in the previous lesson, the width and so on, very easy. You can do it right from the formatting toolbar, but always remember you've got more lines, which will bring up the Format Auto Shape dialog box where you can do all of these things from one location.